Hey guys, Grylls here with some top desert survival tips about how to stay alive if you're lost or you're stranded in the heat of the desert. I'm here with great buddy, ex-Royal Marine, ex-policeman, one of our filming crew, Scott Heffield. We've been on many adventures over the years. We have learned a lot of these lessons through failure. Here's the sum of all our knowledge. I've travelled with Scott all over the world, some of the toughest deserts out there. They are brutal, unforgiving, wildernesses to be, and I don't know what you think, but I reckon out of all the places we go, jungles, deserts, mountains, the real hot deserts are going to kill you faster than anything. I remember when we went to the Australian desert once. We always get a briefing from the search and rescue crews before we drop into these places, and they gave us the advice that they said if you get dropped into this heat, it was like 130 plus, you get dropped in here with no water, no survival skills, you'll be dead in 6 hours. Don't mess with hot deserts. Be prepared, like the scouts say, be smart, and so much good survival is about planning well. For me, I would go number one, go hungry and conserve water. When you eat, that uses up precious fluids. To digest protein takes up water in your body, so go hungry and conserve your water source, whatever that is. And if you're really in trouble and you're well hydrated, you can drink your pee, but we're going to tell you why a bit later. But mine is go hungry, conserve water.
It sounds obvious, but don't travel during the daytime. 120, 130 degrees, maybe early morning and late evening, but rest up during the day, find shade, and just try and travel in the late evenings or at night time if you have to move at all.
People don't often think about this, but actually, they try and battle on through the heat of the day. And a big lesson is with deserts, don't try and beat the sun. The sun is gonna win. You've got to get into the shade. So if you can, find shade, even if it's behind, rocks or behind trees or under, if you find any small bushes, you move around as the sun moves and you follow that shade. I always remember this thing of 25 and 25, which means if you dig down 25 centimeters into the sand, the temperature will be about 25 degrees. So it can be super hot outside, but if you dig down, that cool of the ground, the cool of the sand, once you dig down, is gonna keep you cool. And you can even dig like a coffin-shaped thing where, you size your body, dig it out, get down, stay cool, and then move in the night time.
Right, if you're caught out in the sun, you've got to get something on your head. If you've got a baseball cap, great. A big rimmed cap is even better because you want to protect the neck. But if you've got nothing else, a spare t-shirt or jacket or scarf, get it over your head. And even if you can't wrap it around your face, try just to put it baggily over your head so that it shades you and keeps you cool if you can. Got to keep that sun off your head and neck.
Let's look at the way that nomadic tribes survive. Loose, layered clothing and that cotton, and the air circulates and takes that heat away. But yes, hat and glasses, He's the smart one today with the hat. Luckily, this desert isn't too hot, but wear glasses. If you don't have glasses, you can use charcoal under your eyes like the American footballers do. That takes the glare away. You can get sun blindness just as much in the desert as you can in the snowy mountains. So protect your extremities, your head and your eyes. You need your eyes as a survivor.
People might not think of this, but don't cause yourself any more issues. So if you have to move, you're trying to get to safety, back to civilization, you've got to move across the desert, but a simple thing could actually end everything. Too much sand, down your socks, down your shoes, it's going to rub, it's going to cause sweat rash, it's going to cause blisters. It sounds ridiculous, but your journey might finish because you've got infected, big, wide open blisters because you haven't looked after yourself. So even in the desert, stop, empty your shoes out, try and keep the sand from rubbing and causing abrasions and injuries. Don't want another issue apart from the heat, apart from the sun and the sand and the terrain, it's one less thing to think about.
Yeah, I think for those people who know about desert marathon running, blisters is a key thing. As every soldier knows, you've got to look after your feet primarily. And sand and sweat, moisture is an absolute brutal combination. You're going to get blisters really fast. People wear sand gaiters over their trainers so it comes up here and it stops the sand going into your shoes. But the thing is about blisters is act early. Don't try and be a hero. Think I can feel a blister, but it's okay, I'll push on. Because later in the day it's going to be bloody, weeping and horrible. And I know that from Foreign Legion days. The sand and blisters is a painful combination. So act early. If you think you've got a hot spot, get your shoes and your socks off, cool the feet, air the feet, dry the feet, get out the sand and carry on. I think really key advice for people who are driving across deserts in their cars, just remember, if you ever break down, don't leave your vehicle and try and walk off to get help, because there's so many stories of people doing that, and they set off and they think it's only 5 miles to the nearest town and I can take a shortcut from the map, and if I cut across the desert here, I'll find the town. And they totally underestimate how debilitating the real heat is. And then, they either are never found or their corpse is found, days later. So the advice is, if you break down, stay with your car. Get in the shade outside of the car. You can move around as the sun moves, but stay with the vehicle and try and flag down help. I promised I would finish this episode with drinking your own pee, whether it's a good idea or whether it's a bad idea. And here's the thing, I get a bad rap for somebody who drinks their own pee. Does follow me around, But generally, you don't want to be drinking pee, because pee is waste product, and especially if you're dehydrated, if you're peeing out, dark yellow, brown pee, that's pure waste product. It's not going to help you. But if you're stranded in the desert and you're well hydrated, you've got to conserve all forms of water source. And you might have a bottle of water and a well hydrated bladder, and therefore don't just be peeing that away. You can mix it with your other water sources. But well hydrated pee mixed with other fluids as well, if you're hydrated, can help to keep you hydrated. So there you go. There's a definitive thing on pee drinking things. I'm not one of these people who does have health benefits. I keep getting people writing me going, I do it every morning at home. That's a bit weird.
But it is funny watching some of the celebrities we work with drinking, though.
Yes. That is quite amusing. But the thing is, it's like all these things, it's not as bad as you might imagine. It's warm and salty, isn't going to taste very nice.
Pretty bad. But
if you're stranded in the desert and you've got nothing else, and you're hydrated and you're desperate, drink your pee, save your life. It's about digging deep, doing the unimaginable.
To recap, go hungry, conserve water. Eating food can deplete your fluids. Don't travel during the daytime. If you can, find shade or dig a hole to stay cool. Shade your head, neck and eyes. Keep sand out of your socks and shoes. If you're driving through the desert and break down, stay with your vehicle, find shade and try to flag down help. And generally, you don't want to drink pee, but urine can supplement your water supply in cases of emergency.
Okay, so thanks for joining for that episode of Desert Survival. Just remember, be smart, be prepared, plan ahead, let people know where you're going in advance. So if you don't turn up, somebody is looking for you. So many problems with people getting lost in the wild come from people not knowing somebody is lost. So tell someone where you're going and when you're due back. It's a great safety measure.